Hi, everyone. Welcome to week 21 of English. This week, we are going to be focusing on two skills that you have practiced over and over and over again. We'll be focusing on a particular part of speech, pronouns, and we'll also be focusing on something called similes. Um, Pronouns, you know what they are. You use them almost in every sentence that you say and just about every sentence that you write. But that's all the more I'm going to tell you about pronouns because you will hear very shortly in the opening Nearpod quite a bit about pronouns and what we're going to be doing with them this week. Similes, we will learn about on Thursday and Friday. So just let me give you a brief definition of what a simile is. A simile is something that we use so that we can make a comparison between things. Now, to make a comparison, that means you're taking a look at things that are similar. Now, the trick with a simile is when we're making a comparison, we have to make that comparison or we have to look for similarities by using the words like or as. For example, if we took a look at Mr. Skiba, for example, he's a very large guy, he's a big guy. So if I was talking about Mr. Skiba, I could say he is as big as the flagpole. He is as strong as a bear. Both of those are considered similes because I use the words like or as, and I compared Mr. Skiba to something that is somewhat similar. So, for example, a flagpole, it's big, it's tall, right? So is Mr. Skiba. That's why I can compare him to a flagpole. I've never personally got to experience the strength of a bear, but just by seeing what they can do, reading books about them, and then watching different nature shows, I know bears can be very strong from what I've seen. If you were ever down at the elementary back when we had bears on the playground, you may have seen a few times where the bear picked up or knocked over our recycling dumpster. I could not knock over a recycling dumpster. I'm pretty sure Mr. Skiba could too, could also because he is as strong as a bear. Those are what similes are, making comparisons. Why do we do it? We do it for a few reasons. Number one, we do it just for fun. We do it to make what we're reading a little more interesting. It also helps us to make connections and to think a little bit. So, oftentimes, if we're just describing someone, if we're just describing their features or what they look like, that can get boring after a while. So, comparing them to something that's kind of interesting or unique would really get the reader to want to keep reading. The purpose for going over these things, although you've done them in the past, and believe me, maybe you forget the names right now, but once you get into the work this week, you're going to say, oh, yeah, I've done this before. Reason why is yet again, we are learning some skills that we are going to be able to apply to our writing. So next week for English, it will be a writing week. So we're going to be focusing on making comparisons. We're going to focus on using pronouns. And again, we'll find out what those are here shortly. Why? Exactly for what I just told you. We want to continue to make our writing more interesting. We have learned throughout the year in reading, as we've read these stories, that although we may not always be able to read them independently, we may not always understand exactly what the author is telling us. We have been able to pick up on quite a bit of what the authors have said because of the way it's written, whether they're using humor, whether they're making comparisons or connections by using pictures, similes. Um, those things have helped us as readers. So, as writers, we're going to learn how to use them. So, it'll help us become better writers so that our readers can better understand them. So let's give these Nearpods a shot this week. If at any point you are struggling with the Nearpods, you will be contacted, whether it's through chat if you're online or if you're in class. Expect one of us to come pay you a visit because, again, these skills are extremely important for what we'll be doing next week. If you have any questions, if you're struggling, if you're just not able to make those connections with the similes, those comparisons, please use chat, reach out. It would be much easier now to get the help than have to wait when you're already trying to use it next week. All right, good luck this week, and I look forward to checking out these Nearpods.